So I think what I am going to do is create basically like a website, just like a one-page website. I might buy a domain for it. I can link it. I might not buy a domain. I might just link it to the website I just created and just have a one-pager for the team and have it have simple links for like a messaging booklet and an IPA sheet. And I was making kind of a list of some of the things I wanted to put like an onboarding sheet. Customer, like our customer care guide that I sent you guys a couple of weeks ago with like how to follow up and troubleshooting stuff. The Welcome to Plexus handbook that has how to take all the products. Those like big things to make it super simple and like someone signs up, you go and you grab this and this and these, and you can help support your team. It's easy for you to find all of that. And then I'm also going to make a post in the health and happiness community. I might put it in both groups. That is the recordings for all of the calls that we've been doing, like the gallbladder, the mental health, all of those. So not only is it easy for us to find, but we can tag people in it as well. So those are a couple things that I kind of had going around. I might just put like a real quick, not pretty thing together. Like just a one pager, like I was saying, to send you, so you guys just have like quick access to it. Go ahead.
What about a Dropbox folder instead?
Could. My thought was like people are gonna have to download Dropbox then.
Sure.
I've tried so many different app things. Like there's Trello, which I get a bunch of stuff off of Trello that I pay $10. Don't know if you guys either of you have Christine McCade's subscription thing? It's $10.
Yeah, no, I do.
It's $10
Yeah,
a
I do.
month. I love it, but I've tried to figure out Trello and I'm so confused by it. And so I don't like even want to go down that rabbit hole. Boards is great, but it's still kind of confusing. Groups, everything's just gets lost.
Sure.
And so I thought if I just had like a pretty simple page, and then I'm also going to work on kind of an onboarding system of like something pretty basic, basically like the going silver template. I might just upload that to start with, to be honest with you. And just have something to start with.
Yeah.
So that's something that I was gonna at some point in my life run together really fast. Meredith, what do you want me to do with Alexa real quick? Because I thought of it.
Yeah, sorry, I got your message and I was in the middle of things and I listened to it, but then I forgot to respond well, actually I was only in the car for 2 minutes earlier, so that's why I'm in the car now. I think you should message her with an actionable step. I think it's better when you text her outside of work hours because she's more likely to respond.
Okay.
So like that's why I texted her like later in the evening that when I originally made it, because she's more likely to respond. She's not at work right now because I'm not at work right now. So and it's not that she doesn't necessarily want to respond. She's just not always the best at responding to text messages. She's part of that weird group of, I don't know, is she millennial? She's 23. I don't know what group she fits into, but that doesn't respond very well to things ever. So she's just part of that group.
Should I try and set up a phone call with her?
That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Or like a Zoom call. She did hop on that one for weeks ago, the one that we did.
Oh, yeah.
But she was only on for like 10 minutes. Because then her sister arrived and she had to go, but she was interested in what a lot of it said. So
okay. Okay, cool, helpful. So it was kind of funny that Elise actually sent this to me today. She sent this, like this woman talking about comparison, just in her stories. And this lady was like, I totally caught myself comparing myself to other women in business that aren't even in the same thing as me. They're not even at this, like, we're at completely different points in our business. They're doing completely different things that I don't want to do right now. But I sat there comparing myself to them. Like, it's what the girl's talking about. And she's like, and then I was coaching one of my one-on-one clients about it. And it was just one of those that I kind of needed to hear. And I don't necessarily feel like I'm in comparison. I just feel like I'm in a bit of an overwhelm, maybe because of comparison. I think it is a little bit of comparison. I don't feel like I'm like, oh, they're better than me and I'm not that good. I'm just like, I need to start upping my game if I want to be better. Right. And so that's put me in a state of overwhelm. So Elise was like, I needed to hear it. And it was like the shut it down, Elise, and just go to work. And I was like, that was good. So I wanted to share it with you guys. And then also kind of with the shutting it down, sometimes we need to shut social media down. And the stats are very funny and kind of interesting on this. We all scroll mindlessly. It all happens. And if we are mindlessly scrolling, it negatively affects us. That's what the stats show. If we are interacting as we scroll, it positively affects us. Isn't that crazy? I was like, I'm just going to start throwing in one like when I'm doing my mindless scroll and I'm good, right? But I feel like that we can take that and be very advantageous with it. And like check ourselves when it's like, am I mindless scrolling or am I actually working? And it doesn't always have to be with the thought of working. We can be scrolling for just because. But we're always trying to monetize our scroll. That's what the whole idea of social marketing is, monetizing the scroll. So we need to take away mindless scrolling into the actual, to keep ourselves in check and in the positive. Because I don't mind getting lost on social media every once in a while, but I don't want it to be a negative lost on social media.
Right.
So I don't have a huge amount because we just kind of spent the whole weekend together. Surprise, surprise.
Weird.
But the homework is still for this. Joy, you were on the call last night too. So the homework for this week is basically going to be posting multiple times, even in your stories, whatnot. I would show your face in your stories and talk about the community, about what you experienced over the weekend, about what you learned, about what's coming of it, all of that kind of stuff. I know we didn't take very many pictures. I am terrible at taking pictures when I'm in like groups. I don't know if you guys.
I'm terrible just in general anymore. Like I love taking pictures, but I find that I just don't want my phone out all the time. So then I just don't. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm always on my phone. So I try to put it away in a lot of those situations and then I don't take pictures.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good thing. But then I get done and I'm like, I have like 2 pictures from the weekend.
I have a good one of you two where Michelle's, in the middle of a big laugh and, you're standing by your Meredith. So when we were on the deck, so yeah.
Oh, well, send that to us.
Is this when I was like climbing over the back of you on the chair?
No, that was afterwards. It was after all that while we were just making fun of it. So.
Well, she was mounting me.
Yes. I do straddle patients in the clinic sometimes. I'm just gonna say it.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I used to touch my client's butt all the time and be like, this needs to work. This, like, it's not doing anything.
Get it. Sometimes when people ask what it's like being a physical therapist, I say I touch a lot of butts.
Yeah, it's a giant grope session. That's it.
Yep, pretty much. I am way too comfortable touching people. I have no boundaries.
No. I remember actually going to my physical therapist one time and she gave me a really good butt massage. A really great piriformis release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My elbow is great at that.
Yep. I know. Tyler will like rub it a little bit. I'm like, he's like, how's that feel? I'm like, I prefer elbows. Like, I need an elbow in there. Like, just, ugh. Anyway, so
On the other hand,
side note, so posting and then also messaging, like using oh my gosh, today. I've already gone through all of my posts, even like leading, like the picture of Elise and I driving there, and I went through all my posts and I wrote down a handful of names of people to message. Actually, Joy, you might want to go through my posts actually. Because
I know I'm not getting a whole lot for mine.
So I was like, oh, Joy can take care of them. But just connecting with people on your team and just say like, hey, this is what happened over the weekend. And they don't even need to see the post. So you're going to be making lists from people from your team that you want to invite into the community, people that are in your posts to invite to the community, prospects, all of that kind of stuff. So that's basically the main form of homework that we've got going on this week, is just really, it's obviously basically focusing on the business aspect of it. But really driving home of like, there's incredible purpose in here. I was also actually, while I was running, thinking about like, sometimes you can totally, I like to talk about calling the elephant out in the room. Like, I had a lady message me. It was actually over the weekend, but I ignored her message until yesterday because I did that for most people. And I was asked, she's to start a podcast, and I was asking her about her podcast. And she sent me this mile-long message basically about people in network marketing, and she feels like I might be trying to strike up a conversation to eventually pitch to her, and I was like, I just want to know about your podcast because I'm in the process of starting one and I really like to hear people's stories. Like, and I didn't say anything about the fact that I'm in network marketing. I'm like, I should have just said like, yeah, I'm in network marketing and it's given me everything that I ever could have dreamed of. And if you want to learn about it, great. If you don't, that's totally fine. I just want to hear about your damn podcast.
Yeah.
So I was actually gonna like, I had some plans to like actually do some posting about like, yes, I am part of this and this is what it's given me. And so like you can post
Or
about
even
that. Go ahead.
That made me think about, well, it just made me think about like, well, you watch your favorite shows and you learn information, and commercials are thrown at you all the time, or in your car and commercials are thrown at you all the time trying to get your attention. So, yes, I do this, I'm reaching out to you about this, but also, yeah, I'm going to sprinkle in my own commercial. That's what everyone, that's what happens to us all everywhere.
I like that. Yeah. There, oh my gosh, who was it? Lindsey Vaughn. I was watching The Bachelor last night and Lindsey Vaughn was on a pharmaceutical commercial or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
And she's talking about this sleep med that she takes and like, oh my God.
Yeah. So many athletes are getting into that space right now. And it's, as a healthcare provider, it's really frustrating. Frustrating because they think, oh, well, all these athletes take it. It must be so great, right? Because they're athletes and they're athletes, they work at peak performance and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, no, man, if you just do the right crap, you don't need that.
Yeah. The whole commercial, I was just like,
they're getting paid. They're getting paid for that.
Yes.
So we don't even know if they really are taking it. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, have you guys seen this whole like, oh, what is the word that I posted it in my stories? Elise actually sent me the information on it. What are they calling it? Deadly fungus. Deadly fungal infection spreading at an alarming rate. It's Candida. They're like, there's some
Maybe share that.
Huh?
I said, maybe share that and be like, hey, I help with this.
Oh, I did.
Mhm.
Great.
I said, well, it was in my stories, and I was like, for once, I might be like, thank you, CDC, for making my
Yeah.
choice here. And then I
Right.
was like, they're gonna tell you to take antibiotics and to disinfect to get rid of it, and that's just gonna make it worse. So let me tell
Yep.
you about
Yeah.
what you really need to do. Yeah, I was cracking up. So we have a whole new platform, you guys, to help get rid of this deadly fungus that's going around, spreading like wild.
Deadly. Yes, and causing chronic inflammation.
Yeah, they're trying to make this the next pandemic, and it's just so good.
Excellent.
I'm dying from it. All right, you guys have your homework. I don't really have much more,
All right.
All right.
Cool beans.
but
Yeah,
I love you guys.
The chickens just broke through the barrier and joined me up here on the porch. So yeah, I got to shoo them off.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you here. I'm just gonna stop recording.